Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And it is towards the end of the month of April, which means Jubilee is done, the showcases are done. We're kind of in a down period right before we get the real 3.5 anniversary meta, and it's also time to do the monthly world tour of whatever current team is currently out, which right now is the Warriors Mind 2.0 team. Now, normally I break it up into like Conquest and then Tempered Edge 1, 2, and 3, but since we have access to Conquest Calamity, and technically in a couple days, as of recording this, we'll get the harder stages, but right now we just have normal Conquest Calamity. I figured it would be much more interesting to take the Warriors Mind team into these stages because they actually pose somewhat of a difficulty, whereas Conquest Normal is a joke, and Tempered Edge is also a joke. So, much more interesting concept of their power in stages that actually have HP, that actually have stats, things I gotta work around. 2 million HP isn't a lot, but some of them have 9. It should just be more interesting. So, let's build the full Warriors Mind 2.0 team, and let's jump in. Alright, so for this video, we're going to go into probably the first 4 stages, Void of Chaos, Advent, Bastion, and Prowess, and then we'll take on the other 3 next video, tomorrow, probably. This is, well, yeah, that's fine. I think we're fine there. But we are going to use the full team with a few changes, because obviously we have an extra slot, so we're just going to put the free-to-play Slime Rimuru. He won't really bring anything. He happens to be an orange orb changer, which works for our team, but I'm not like cheating by bringing some other really broken character. Also, we're going to switch Space Milim out for, looks like Earth Milim, just to get the big 3 in here. But this is the team we're going to be using for the entirety of all the fights. No substitutions, and going to say we're probably not going to have a lot of trouble. Just purely because this team is way too strong. This is a burst team that's doing hundreds of millions, almost 1 billion damage in Jubilee, so not a lot of problems to be had here. The one thing about the Orc is that he does stun you for a few turns, which you can take as both a blessing and a curse, because you can play around it and maybe get some ults easily using it, or you could just be shafted eternally. Or you could get a full hand of green orbs. And you know what? That's just fine. Okay, yeah, we'll work with that, I guess. So, let's, do we even do anything? I mean, we can put some debuffs on for funsies, just help us hit a little bit harder. No one is light on this team, so we don't have true type advantage. So, we're still gonna hit fairly hard once we nuke. Like, we know that Blanc and Gobwa, they can hit really, really high numbers when we're playing to their strengths. But right now, we're not, technically. We do have a lot of Blanc orbs here, which means that we're going to get the EX ult next turn. So, let's put some control on. Let's, do we Rainbow Convert here for fun? We're going to get, what do we have? We have Goblin. Okay, so let's do this for fun. Control. Do the free 40 points. Alright, that changes everything but the Gobble Orbs, because she's not on Primal Demon, Antagonist, or Schemer. I think those are the categories. Technically, we could do this for fun. Let's take Violet out of here. Just because I want to use Slime Rimuru, let's do this convert. Change these to oranges, which are technically nerfed. Not a big deal. We'll bring Xion up front, make sure we get extra skill points off of these. And then we'll use Shuna to change those last 2 Gobwa orbs into rainbows. And then we're going to get the ult next turn. We're going to get stunned. We've got so much gauge right here. So many points, a double Shuna. We're doing good damage now because of the debuffs. And then we'll get some control on all of our characters, actually. Everybody is stunned. Not a big deal. We're going to be building up points since we obviously can't do anything here. I don't need to use Shuna, because what would it do for us? We already have, I mean, I guess we could do this, I guess. Cool. For fun. But now we're getting a bunch of stacks of control now, so we've gotten 60% extra weakness strike, which, guess what? Doesn't really matter on this team, because we're not type advantage. But now we have 210 points, and I think we might as well nuke. So boom, boom, and then we'll have enough. Gobwa would probably kill by herself. In fact, let's nuke with Gobwa first, just for fun, instead of doing Blanc, because obviously we know that Blanc is going to do an insane amount of damage. Let's do the Pierce resistance down, and then we'll simply say goodbye. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I want to see what one orb does. One Gobwa orb. Will it be enough to actually kill? No, 275k. Oh, that didn't actually kill, wow. Well, that did, though. 1.8 million damage. Well, what were we missing on this team? Obviously, we're missing 2 other good support characters for damage. 1.8 million. I thought Blanc would do a bit more, but she is AoE. We are not type advantage. So, I mean, I guess this is probably where our damage is going to look for most of these fights. But let's go into Advent of Radiance now. Alright, you want to talk about a joke fight. I mean, Hinata has, I think, 9 million HP, but we are now actual type advantage, getting the extra damage buff from Shuna. And that was probably the kicker for the last fight, is that we were just type neutral. And we're still fairly strong, but not as strong as we could be. So let's bring Blanc in, let's bring Violet in, and let's send the Gobwa orbs, actually. Yeah, let's do that. 17k a hit, just straight up. Now she's going to have some crit defense, which we are not a crit-focused team. That hand looks great because those are only Primal Demon orbs, which means that we actually have Rainbow orbs and some debuffs. Boom, boom. So I guess here we're actually going to nuke with Blanc because we're going to get her EX ult here. Let's give the buff to oranges, the 40 skill points. We don't need to use Shuna because we already have a full hand of rainbows. No real point in doing anything here except doing this. I mean, we'll get Shuna back plus some, so I guess we could, and we could put the Dread and everything on. Do we have points for control? We do have points for control. Let's do that. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. EX ult for Blanc. Doing 77,000 to hit now with the debuffs and the Dread. Yeah. She might have, like, 5 times the HP of the Orc, but it's not really going to matter. Does she actually have 9 million, or is it actually 12? Someone has 12 million, I think. She has 9 million. Okay, 9.5, technically. No, not quite enough to do that. Not a huge deal. Let's use Xion to alt swap away. And that'll take that will take Blanc's ult. We'll use Shuna now. And then next turn, on turn 4, we will nuke. And then we will do an obscene amount of damage. Let's actually put more control on, just because I want to. And let's get some extra skill points. Again, because I want to. And let's get some extra skill points. This team is just, it's so very easy to use if you understand the mechanics. That's the thing, is that new players who don't really know what's going on, don't know how to build teams or how to use skills efficiently. I'm not saying you're a bad player, please don't take it that way. I'm just saying that there are a lot of intricacies in gacha games that you have to learn over time. And that's the same for any gacha game, whether it be Star Rail or Dokkan or the Grand Cross game or literally anything else. Like, it does take time to learn the terminology, learn the gimmicks, learn what proper teams should look like and how they should operate. It is just something that comes with trial and error, essentially. So if you're watching this video and you're like, I can't make this team, not a big deal. You will get these units later on down the line if you continue to play. But this is what the team looks like with just the base level. These are the characters, and this is the kind of damage you could potentially output. And this is also why I say, or tell people to wait for like the really strong half anniversary or full anniversary teams, because if you can do 32 million on an AoE nuke in your proper setting, you're going to be looking pretty good for most scenarios. Now, this is, again, taken with a grain of salt of gear and dupes and support units and all that. But if you summon for high-value banners with high-value teams, then it should carry you for most of the game. Maybe you can't do the super high-end endgame content, but if you can do almost everything else, then I still think you're going to have a fine time. Alright, next fight, going into the Earth Golem, and we actually do have some fire characters on this team. Not including Slime Rimuru, but we have Violet, we have Xion, and the Golem honestly does not have that much HP, so I kind of actually... Perfect. I want to nuke with Xion here. Being a single target free-to-play character, but on this team that can output tons of damage against a Golem that doesn't have that much HP, all things considered, I think we can still have some fun with this team. So... let's go ahead and do this, actually. Let's bring you in for Xion, and then let's bring you in for Slime Rimuru. And we'll simply do this the easy way. We'll send these 2 orbs. We're not going to get a Shuna, but we're going to get points, and that's the thing that really matters here. Blues are nerfed. Good, we're not a blue team. 76 points, excellent. Let's go ahead and convert those to Rainbow. Boom, so now we got 6. Let's give us the free points. Let's put the debuffs on. Boom, boom. Let's put the control stacks on now. And then we'll simply bring Xion in for Blanc. And then we can get her ult. She is not an EX character, so we don't need an EX ult for her, but we're going to get it anyways. And then we wait for the stun, because we're going to get stunned here. Probably. Most likely going to get stunned. We might be able to dodge it if someone hits that 10%. Which we don't, which is not a big deal still. Okay, there's the control, so Xion's getting extra weakness strike stacks, that's good. We're at 155 points, we have double Shuna, so that's also good. And let's just go ahead and do this, and then we'll get another 30 points. Alright, take the hit there. Control stacks, excellent. The only thing is that some of this will not hit Xion. This dark damage resistance down. Obviously, Xion is not dark, so we might have a few issues there. I'm not entirely sure if Xion actually has the power to kill, but we sure as hell will find out here, won't we? And if not, then Goblet can most likely follow up and still be okay. So 1, 2, 3, we're at 14%. Alright, well let's use Xion 19, and then we'll use her again to cap her out at the full 120% pierce resistance down. For every debuff, you get an extra 3%, and now we are at the 120. Okay, so if Xion does not kill, Gobwa will. I have not nuked with Xion, so we'll just send this anyways. Alright, we'll watch the Xion ult, though, because she is the free-to-play character. She had her own showcase last week, or earlier this week. I don't remember. I don't know when I'm going to put this video out. But can you do 1.8 million damage with these buffs? Can you? No, you can do about half that. Okay, well, Goblet finished it anyways. So, a little bit of a difference in power. Goblet also getting that dark damage resistance down debuff. Xion being free to play, not having the greatest gear. Her gear isn't even finished. So, hey, at least we can say that we had her ult in the game, which I can't say with anyone else because I didn't watch any of them. So I guess she's the only ult we have in this video so far, as far as watching the full cinematic. Alright, the last fight of the video, maybe I should have gone into, like, I should have waited for the higher difficulty Conquest Calamity to come out. I mean, obviously, it's not a guaranteed kill every single time, unless we have multiple ults, but... details. Okay, do we even do anything here? You know what? Let's do this. Let's use Rimuru again. Convert. Okay, let's bring Blanc in for Xion. Milim, if she really, really hates somebody, they will die. Just straight up, they will die. Let's do the gauge increase, that way the oranges can at least get something here. We do get a Gobble ult, we get very, very close to a Blanc ult. We're going to get the trait to kick over, so we get Shuna next turn. We'll have 51 plus 30 points. And Milim, I think she has quite a bit of HP. Quite a bit of HP. And she can also cut our HP very quickly. Yeah. Yeah, if she, like, 4-shots somebody, they're gonna die. And she has quite a bit. She also has 9 million. This might actually be a challenge. This might actually take some runs to get the job done. So let's do this. Let's do the control. Let's do that. Let's do the extra skill points. Alright. Now we'll do the control. Boom. And we'll simply get Gobble out of here. Yeah, well, you just go away. And then we can get probably a Blanc EX ult. We're going to get a Violet EX ult because of the orange buff. I think we should be fine. And... well... we could do the full rainbows. Could do it. Let's do it. Let's just make sure we can get maximum everything here. Yeah, EX ult, EX ult. Gobbo has an ult in the back. That's fine. We've got control on. Gobbo's not going to get that, but again, weakness strike doesn't matter when we're type neutral. So control doesn't actually matter except for enhancing the debuffs. And now we're into danger territory. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. So because weakness strike doesn't really matter, I'm also not going to worry too much about Violet's ult. Let's bring you in. And then we'll use the ult swap ability from Xion. Boom. We will put some more debuffs on, that way we can cap out, and then we'll get some extra skill points on the oranges because of Xion's skill, and then we'll nuke next turn, and we'll see if we can do 9 million damage with the double EX ult. I'm fairly certain that we can, with full buffs, as long as nobody dies here. Well, if Xion dies, it's not a big deal. But if Blanc or Goblet dies, then we're going to have some problems. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, no, we're good. Okay. Yeah, I mean, my team is not an insignificant team. Like, it has damage. Also, I think we're better off sending Xion's ult. I mean, Violet's not going to do anything for us, and she has a shit multiplier compared to fucking free-to-play Xion. She's doing 150% on an AoE, and Xion's doing 470 single target. So yeah, we're definitely going to use all three of them. So let's do the damage increase. The dark resistance down means that our Goblet and Blanc will hit harder. Should be capped out. Yeah, 120% right there. Okay. We don't have control, though, which would enhance our debuffs even more. We don't actually have enough points for that. No, we don't have enough points for that. So you know what? We're not even going to worry about it. We're just going to do this, and we're going to pray that 3 ults of varying degrees of power can get the job done. Let's actually turn the ults on. We've already seen Xion's ults. Let's send Goblet, Blanc, Xion. And maybe we see both of them. But, I mean, was this a challenge? It was more difficult than doing bitch-ass Conquest that's been around for 3.5 years. Yeah, sure. Did we die? No. Were we in danger of dying or failing? 2.3 million, that's... ooh. Ooh. Might need to bring another support character. Fire Slime Rimuru might not actually cut it as our 5th slot to do 9 million type neutral. Glinting Flurry. You're going to do less. Ooh. Would the control actually help? Probably not. Xion is not going to do anywhere close to that damage. She's not dark, nor is she an EX ult, nor is she just an EX character in general. We might need to bring some extra support. 299, oh my god. Alright, and then 1, 2, oh, guard. And the 200% orb does... I mean, 750k is a lot. I'm pretty sure Xion is dead here, though. Yeah, she sure is. Oh, Blanc. Oh, okay. I spoke too soon. Did we die? Depends on what Milim does here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Ooh. Yep. We're gonna need a bit more help. Hold on. Alright, so we've changed it. We've taken out Slime Rimuru. We brought in the old OG Space Master Hero for the crit buff. Hopefully with that active, it will give us just enough damage to push us over that threshold. Hopefully, I don't know if it's going to add like that much to it, but I'm hoping that with the rewind, we can kind of make something work here. I'm not entirely sure what, but I'm going to bring you guys back for like turn 4 or turn 5, the nuke, depending on what our HP levels look like. So give me 1 second. Okay, we're back on turn 2. We just used the rewind to get the EX ults for Gabwa and Blanc. Blanc taking a beating, so we do need to get her out now. She's got to go. But we're going to use the crit buff on these two characters. We're not really going to care about the crit resistance. It would be a lot more powerful because of the dread effect, but we got to hold on to something here, and this is the only thing that we really realistically can hold on to. Let's do another debuff so they're active for next turn, and then both of you can go away. And actually, you know what? Let's do this as well. And then we'll bring Violet in, and then we'll bring in Xion. So now we just have an ult and a lot of points. The many points is important. Let's put the control debuff on as well so we can enhance the debuffs even more. And the next turn we should be ready to go. As long as we cap out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Almost cap out. Let's do 2 more rainbows, actually. And this should get us to where we need to be. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 89 points. Solve the problem by spending more points to get more points back. There we go. Now we're capped out. Alright, crit pierce right there. Okay, natural pierce on the hero. The crit was guaranteed because we used her skill. But now on turn 4, before she can nuke us, and hopefully now everyone up here is full HP, so we should be fine. Okay, yeah, we're fine now. So we have the debuffs, we have the control, we have the crit held on to our 2 characters in the back. So let's bring them up front, and the hero can go away now, and Xion can go away now. We don't need anything from them now. And we'll use the big time buff, and I think we should be capped out, right? Yeah, we're already capped out. So there we are. And technically we don't need to use Shuna either, unless we want the full hand of oranges, but it's already a full hand of Blanc, but everyone likes handfuls of Blanc. Okay. Sure, we can get Violet's ult in here. Have we had Violet's ult actually shown off? I don't think we have. Let's do that. And then let's send Blanc and Gabwa, and then if somehow Blanc doesn't kill, then Gabwa will. Alright. Violet ult is only 150% multiplier. It's terrible. And the effect that we get from it normally, which is extra weakness strike, it's permanent, means nothing because we are not Earth characters. So we're just doing this just to say that we got her ult in the video. And it does a whole whopping 280k. Fantastic. Blanc. We already watched her earlier, so let's go ahead and send it. 6.1 million, which means Gabwa will kill, because she will do slightly more damage. And that's a win right there. So we did have to make one small change to the team, bringing the OG Master Hero. Certainly not a new character by any means, but still an important one. 7.6. So nobody would have one-shot from full HP. Gabwa doing 7.6, she still would have had 2 million HP left over. So we definitely did need the Blanc ult as well to get the job done. But that is the first 4 stages of Conquest Calamity cleared with the Warriors Mind 2.0 team. We will be back tomorrow to finish out the last 3 stages, which should not pose any real problem. So let me know what you guys think, but that's it from me. Well, actually, Ifrit might be a problem. He's got 12 million HP. Yeah, he sure does. Okay. He might pose a problem, but we'll probably just run the hero again. But again, let me know what you guys think. That's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.